We're here to find my Patronus.
Look at you go. In lieu of skit this week, we will be discovering Adrian's Patronus.
You said
on
you had a
Pottermore.
Patronus, yes?
I've already done the quiz because this is something that's like, it popped up, I'm like, oh, Patronus. Yeah, Adrian didn't mention that we should do this for the channel. So hopefully my phone works here without internet, because you have no internet. And these are going to be rapid-fire questions. Just pick whichever one sounds the best to you. Go with your instinct.
Let's
Ready?
see. Yes.
Begin.
Read them to me.
Well, it's loading. There's
Okay.
lovely pictures.
You
Relax
have
and think of
to
your
do
happiest
this.
memory, Adrian.
I don't have one.
Not reading Lord of the Rings. Looking back to August, what a fine month it was. Dream, discover, or dance?
Discover.
Moving forward. There's lovely graphics. I wish we could play this somehow, but there's no way. Technology's beyond me.
Just give us the overview.
Rough or smooth?
Rough.
We're traveling through some trees. There's a lovely glinting glow.
Like a fairy. We're like a fairy.
We're
right?
like a fairy.
Like Tinkerbell.
We're Tinkerbell. Stone, wood, or earth?
Wood. Wood.
Oh, instinct. Something is trying to emerge from your wand, Adrian. Keep going.
Why do you have to make it sound that way?
Because that was phallic, and I was excited for forever or sometimes.
Sometimes.
A lot of people are pissed about this. One more question. Nobody got the Patronus they want, and they're furious about it.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me. But
Final one. Comfort, advise, impress.
Advise.
All right. Adrian,
What do we got here?
your Patronus is emerging.
Yeah.
Your Patronus, the representation of you.
Okay. Adrian is a
Traveling graphic that's taking too long. Touch and drag to look. Touching.
Don't ruin it, Dalton. Hurry up.
Your Patronus is a white swan.
What?
You're a white swan.
A white swan?
Yes.
All
at
right.
you. You're beautiful and majestic.
A white swan?
Yeah. Doesn't that seem very fitting of you?
A white swan?
I'm going to go in the argument that the questions don't matter with this at all. And
It's
it
just
it gives you
randomized?
something. Because you know what I got?
What'd you get?
A mole.
A mole?
I'm a mole. Do you know how disappointing that is?
Where do moles live?
Underground.
Much like a hobbit.
Maybe they're onto something here. But just imagine you tried to release Patronus, it's just boop, mole. Mole.
Moon.
And here I was thinking that we were going to get like a bear and an otter and just boom, community explosion. Everybody be happy. But anyway.
Bear and Otter Productions.
The white bear and otter productions. The white swan and the mole in lieu of Harry Potter skit Patronus.
White swan?
Gosh, let's just go to the lovely little intro and we'll get on with Harry Potter.
Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here with this week's installment of Harry Potter. Dalton, what Harry Potter is this?
This is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This segment of Adrian Reads Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, chapters 18 and 19. So, the brief rundown as always. Chapter 18, we have the weighing of the wand. It seems like the whole school is against Harry Potter now. We get the Potter Stinks badges. Harry contacts Sirius via Owl. And we get to meet Rita Skeeter and journalism in the wizarding world, which I'm going to go on a tangent on.
I've got a few things to note there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sirius gets back, says, hey, meet up at the fireplace here. Chapter 19, The Hungarian Horntail. Hagrid reveals to Harry his task for the first Triwizard Tournament event. We get a weird love scene between Hagrid and Madame Maxine, where they're waltzing in the woods together at night. It's lovely. And we find out that Karkaroff is a Death Eater, former Death Eater. So we've got some good old Voldemort power going at the other schools. Adrian, as you rapidly take notes.
First thing I want to say is that the name Pansy Parkinson has me triggered.
Okay.
Okay. You know the whole school turning on the Golden Boy Harry Potter and now having Harry Potter sucks pins and everything, that really feels a lot like how at one time we were popular and beloved, and now our comment sections and dislike buttons glow with strip cover lit stinks buttons.
Okay. I'll give you that.
That's one moment where I was personally invested in the Harry Potter world. Since all we talk about is race, sex, and gender and religion.
Yes. Okay, that works for me. Would you like me to... Can we start with Rita Skeeter?
Comment below that strip cover lit sucks.
Please. Rita Skeeter.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to talk about any of the things that apparently is upsetting for the audience to hear. Rita Skeeter, I've said for many times, is never addressed when people talk about Harry Potter. This is the 4th novel from J.K. Rowling. This would be at a point in time where J.K. Rowling has amassed quite a bit of fame and notoriety as
She's
a writer.
supernova.
She's supernova. This is J.K. Rowling commenting directly on how journalism works.
Yes.
Because, it's true, in any form of art, in any form of anything, really, you are only as good as your media attention. If somebody comes out and says, look at this author, look at her, she can't write, she's trash, blah, blah, blah. For a lot of people, that is going to be the end all. Right. Which we attempted to do with J.K. Rowling many times now, and nobody seems to, get on board with the end all. But no, Rita Skeeter directly is fabricating stories about Harry Potter that have nothing to do with what Harry Potter is saying. She's been sent to report as a journalist directly on the Triwizard Tournament. And she focuses on Harry and making a name for herself through explicit and fabricated journalism that she herself doesn't even write.
Right.
This is the author directly commenting so much on her vision of journalists that she didn't even write her own stuff. She just has a pen make things up for her.
Yeah, and it's interesting also to note that this was published in 2000. Mm-hmm. So this is right at the beginning of that internet reality becoming the reality.
Yes.
Right.
This is where... journalists are no longer journalists. They didn't go to school for journalism. Anybody's a journalist.
Right. And you also said that you're only as good as your media attention. Well, at this point, media attention is 24 hours.
Yes.
Right? So that's something interesting to note. Now, when Rita... Oh, did you have more?
Oh, no. I'm just going to say, I think that's good on JK's behalf. I think she did something good there. I like that. There's a bit of spice in there. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Don't break character, Dalton. You're the one that loves Harry Potter, remember?
It's some good spice.
Now we have to look at the character of Rita.
Okay.
When she's introduced, there are jewels in her glasses. Due to the point that she has a lifestyle that is so lavish. Also, she has a crocodile handbag. These are very lavish lifestyle things,
yes.
Right? But that crocodile handbag serves another purpose as well. It lets us know that Rita is a predator.
Yes.
She also has crimson fingernails, crimson being the color of blood. But also, this was interesting to me to note, the color of Gryffindor, right?
Okay.
Crimson and gold, right?
Okay.
So it is also the color of Gryffindor. It makes me wonder where she went to school.
Well, it would be assumed that she went to Hogwarts.
Right.
That's very interesting. I've never considered what school Rita Skeeter had gone to. Now, I would imagine that somewhere on the world of the internet of Pottermore, that somebody has addressed where Rita Skeeter went to school, because that is apparently literature at its finest. When people say, "Oh, Rita Skeeter was a Ravenclaw," and that's accepted.
Publish it. Make money.
What was the character we talked about last week? I have to go on another tangent. Maybe this is why everybody's pissed at our Harry Potter videos, is I keep going on tangents. Was it Angelina Johnson?
Yes.
And how I said, well, she hasn't really come back. She's not an important character, whatever.
Okay.
Excuse me. She comes back.
Does she?
Is occasionally mentioned, maybe once a book, as, she was at the Quidditch match or something like that.
Quit being pissy.
Oh, I'm pissy at this. It's also mentioned that she ends up marrying one of the Weasley brothers, the Weasley twins, I believe. Because, that's, not in the books or anything, but J.K. Rowling said it was so it's very important. Very important to the story.
The Weasley twins?
Yes, Fred and George.
Aren't the Weasley twins like 10 here? And she's 18?
No, the Weasley twins are older than Harry Potter and Ron at this time.
Oh.
They're not 18 yet, remember? Because
that's right.
They're about ready to turn 18.
I have this vision of them as like troublesome 8-year-olds still.
No, apparently she marries one of the twins, and J.K. Rowling mentioned that at one point. That's not in the novel that I know of. Excuse me. So,
most of my points with this are on Rita, actually.
Okay, good.
Along the lines of questionable character introductions and descriptions by J.K. Rowling, it is noted that she has large, mannish hands, which, obviously, how unbecoming for a proper lady.
Go on.
Well, I'm just saying, I'll just throw that out there. I won't make any real commentary on it, because there's nothing there, right? I mean, that's just how she looks. That is not a base judgment on the behalf of J.K. Rowling.
That is something we have been critiqued on very much recently, of reading too much into the story, because some things are just there just to be there. They don't have point or meaning.
Quit being pissy.
Sorry. Anyway.
Also, to get her magic quill to work, Rita has to, and I'm quoting here, suck it for a moment with apparent relish. Okay. I'm not going to add any commentary on that. The last thing I have on Rita, in the movie, does Rita appear in the movies?
Yes.
Is Rita played by a brunette in the movies? Is she a woman with dark hair?
Dark hair, yes, I think. Well, I don't recall.
Because here's what gets me. You don't recall at all.
She may be blonde.
Okay, because here's what gets me. Rita, in the book, the Magic Quill describes her as an attractive blonde. When she's starting off that article on page 288 or something, but the drawing of Rita at the beginning of that chapter, there's these little drawings, right?
Art above the
little
chapter.
art. Rita is depicted as a woman with black hair.
Okay.
Black or brown hair. It's dark. You can't tell in the black and white photo picture if it is black or brown. But this is interesting to me if in the movie she has dark hair, because that would be a moment where the books are taking the side of the movies over the book itself. It has been my point from day one of that first review of the first book of Harry Potter. The book's not that great. I guarantee you these are big because of the movies.
Okay.
Has it not?
You've made that point many times. I want to say she's blonde. I do. I really do. However, since you are mentioning that, I will let you know, Victor Crumb, on my copy, that is not the Victor Crumb in the movie.
Right.
Victor Crumb has a shaved head, very masculine jawline, whatnot. He's a very strong-looking character. So, I don't know. There's a little bit of difference there.
Yeah.
But that has been brought up many times before in the Harry Potter universe, how the characters themselves described in the book are nowhere near the characters described in the movie, or portrayed in the movie.
Which is fine unless in future installments of the book
they change.
You were representing pictorially the film.
Yes.
Right?
I don't think that's the case.
Because that is perverting the text itself.
I think it stands true. The book keeps with the descriptions. Hungarian horn. Or do you still have more on Rita Skeeter?
I have a quote I would like to read.
Okay.
From chapter 18.
Okay.
"Ah, now, this is one of mine, isn't it?" said Mr. Ollivander with much more enthusiasm than as Cedric handed over his wand. "Yes, I remember it well. Containing a single hair from the tail of a particularly fine male unicorn. Must have been 17 hands. Nearly gored me with its horn after I plucked its tail. 12 1/4 inches. Ash. Pleasantly springy. It's in fine condition. You treat it regularly?" "Polished it last night," said Cedric, grinning. Harry looked down at his own wand. He could see finger marks all over it. He gathered a fistful of rope from his knee and tried to rub it clean surreptitiously. Several gold sparks shot out of the end. Fleur Delacour gave him a very patronizing look, and he desisted.
You find a penis joke in everything, don't you?
Tell me that is not... A single hair from a particularly fine male unicorn nearly gored me after I plucked its tail. You treat it regularly, pleasantly springy. I polished it last night. Harry Potter then goes to rub his own and it goes off. Come on. Don't tell me...
Oh, there's no sex in Harry Potter. These novels were written for children. You're simply reading too much into it.
They were written for children by an adult.
Yes. This is an argument I've been meaning to make up a lot of times. This is a children's story, but it's written by an adult.
Interestingly enough, who's reading this?
Right now?
No. Probably adults.
Adults, yes.
To their children.
To their children. Here's the thing. Go to the movies.
It's my turn to get busy.
This is my turn to make a point. Go to the movies. Watch any Disney, Pixar animated film. Go watch Shrek.
Yeah, starting with Shrek.
Tell me that there are not sexual innuendos and adult humor in
There's
there.
2 movies going on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. There are things in this book that are meant for the adult audience. Whether they're picked up on or not, they're there. Anyway, okay, I'm better. Not salty anymore. I'm going to praise Harry Potter now.
Salty Dalty.
Hungarian Horntail. Hagrid lets Harry know of his upcoming task, but the important thing that we must get from this chapter is not only is Karkaroff a Death Eater, but he is one who has made a lot of enemies. Karkaroff is a dangerous man. And this is Sirius's explanation of to possibly why Dumbledore has brought Moody into the school to keep Harry safe. Very interesting things going on here. So Karkaroff has been listed as our particular villain of the time, since we haven't really got a villain yet. Any feelings, thoughts on that, where that's going to go?
I still don't think he's the villain. I still think Bagman's the villain.
Bagman? Okay.
Bagman.
Okay. So we're going to get a little bit more on that. And Hagrid, redeeming Hagrid, I think does a great thing for Harry. Hagrid is the one who says, I'm going to give my boy a chance. I'm going to give him the hookup. I'm going to do what I can to make sure he's safe and taken care of. Which, in the spirit of competition, is a little bit frowned upon. Until we find out that literally every single other person,
with the exception of Diggory, right?
is going to know about the Horntails. Is going to know about the dragons, excuse me. So very interesting there. This is the adults at the children's flag football game. Screaming and yelling and arguing with the referees. This is what that is. My kid's got to be the best kid, and I'm going to do everything he can to make sure he is the best kid. So there's a lot going on there. It's a good commentary. I enjoyed it. Good on you, Rowling, whatever you want to call her.
The one thing that stood out in this chapter to me, really, was the fact that for some reason, Hagrid asks Harry on his first date. Right?
Yeah.
That's the weird part to me.
Is it?
And it's well, it is because Hagrid goes right back to the same type of behavior he showed the kids the first time they came over to, or when they came over to his house when Maxime first got there, and he just ignores them.
Okay.
Like, why ask Harry along simply to ignore him?
If you look at...
I understand the utility of the situation, but it's still awkward, is it not?
If you look at Hagrid as a character, Hagrid is not well-liked, well-thought of in the wizarding world. It's clear that Hagrid doesn't have a lot of friends. And you could read into that a lot. That's why he, invests so much into creatures. He keeps a lot of pets. He clearly has drinking issues. Hagrid's a lonely man. Harry is one of Hagrid's closest contacts. When you go on a first date, when you're apprehensive, you say, hey, why don't you come along? Why don't you come along, make sure things are good, and get me out of the situation if need be. So I'm okay with that. That seems okay with me.
I don't know, is it... But he's not really there.
He's not really there, but knowing that he's there.
But doesn't... I don't know.
Or we can say it's all the facade. Hagrid is bringing Harry along, and he's only taking Maxine, so he has an excuse to be there.
But everyone knows Hagrid there anyway, and everyone knows that Hagrid would show up when there's dragons anyhow. What's-his-name doesn't seem particularly surprised to see Hagrid. He seems surprised to see that he's brought Maxime.
Yes. Which, he frowns upon. He mentions that. Oh, it's a no-no, but whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to tell anyone.
So again, he's not doing this for Harry's sake, really.
I think he is. He's doing this for Harry's benefit.
But why ask Maxime there?
Maybe he just really wants, spend some time with Maxine, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't know.
But then you're not going to get kissed on the first date because you don't know if there's a 9-year-old watching you. So, I don't know. It seems strange to me. This is sort of a book where Hagrid's behavior is falling apart for me.
Okay.
And it's the same book where Hermione's behavior is falling apart for me. And we haven't got much of Snape. So I hate this book.
Okay.
The only things I enjoy about the Harry Potter world are starting to
falling
be
apart?
taken from me.
Okay. But we do know coming soon what the first challenge is going to be. Something to do with dragons.
Something to do with dragons.
And we talked about this a little bit last week where you said, are they going to be like, friendly competitions? What are they going to be?
Right.
But now we know for sure dragons. You're looking at your cover.
My cover has Harry Potter and a dragon and a golden egg. So I'm assuming that their first challenge is going to be to steal an egg from the dragon.
Okay.
There will be commentary there if that's what it is.
Okay.
I mean, there's something that scenario very much lends itself to, right?
Okay.
Because dragons have golden eggs.
A lot of fantasy mythos in there.
These must be female dragons, right?
Assume so.
So you're stealing the young from a mother.
And I believe this chapter they did comment on the fact they are female dragons because they do have eggs with them in the cages, which is why they're so ferocious.
Okay.
So, we're getting there. If you'd like to join us for that, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a like. Why not out of pity? We don't get a lot of likes anymore, so...
I blame Dalton.
I take
Make
it.
sure you follow us on Twitter at StripCover and on Facebook at StripCoverLit.